Very good evening. Yeah. Are you able to see my screen? You are able to hear me, right? All? Okay. Uh, Yesterday we were discussing about object identification mechanism is nothing but for identifying any of the objects during recording. QTP try to follow some mechanism. So that mechanism is nothing but initially to look for minimum number of properties. Those minimum number of properties you can consider like mandatory properties. In case mandatory properties doesn't provide unique identification, means it will go for assistive properties. Even assistive properties also doesn't provide, means it will go for ordinal identifier. Ordinal identifier is nothing but index, location, creation type. That is what yesterday we discussed. Our next topic is checkpoints. So before starting up with the checkpoints, anybody having any questions? Okay. Okay. The thing is I have shared previous session recorded sessions all. So your batch recorded sessions I have to actually upload and share. So for that one immediately after the class I may not uh, do that. So it will take some time. So what I do is I will make it ready by this weekend. I will share you the Aswini. So you want, it's a bit hard Ashwin. Okay, another thing is yeah, that's what about object identification. Previous batches videos I have shared, right? So yeah, yeah, yeah. So that is uh-huh. No, no, checkpoints is today's discussion. Okay, I will check it up and I will show you. Okay, now if I check means it will be little bit delay. Yeah, 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 sure, sure. I will try it out. Yeah. I, uh, yeah, it's having some trouble. I'm trying to resolve. By tomorrow, it will get it resolved. Okay. So that is the number. Is my actual number. You can try it out tomorrow. It will get it reached. Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, sure, sure. By this weekend, I will send it up. Okay. Yeah. Any more questions? Okay. No questions means I'm meeting. So that line will be clear. Okay. So that is nothing but your object identification mechanism. So then our next topic is checkpoints. Okay. So let us suppose during recording what QTP does, you'll be entering correct username, correct password, click on sign in button. Okay, so that is what you will record. So during recording it will try to QTP try to record all those manual actions. During runtime it will try to validate those steps, but okay, but sometimes you may get a chance to validate or to check the behavior of the object or application at a specific point of time. Best example if I take, see here, As soon as I navigate flight reservation system window, flights button is in disable mode, right? So this is what I have to validate. This is what my requirement. This is what my manual test case. So whether it's in disabled mode or not, by default I have to validate. My next validation is like as soon as I enter data flight. Okay, so after entering event data flight, the flights button should be disabled. So it's in disabled mode or not, I have to validate. Then fly from. So once I select fly from, still your flights button should be in disabled mode. So it's in disabled mode or not, you have to validate. So then once you enter flight 2, then only flights button should get enabled. Like by default, once you enter data flight, once you enter fly from, these three situations, flights button should be in disabled mode. Once you enter flight 2, then only it should get enabled. So this kind of behavior you have to validate. How you will validate? That is what, with the help of checkpoint. In your QTP, you will come up with one feature that is nothing but like checkpoint. These kind of validations you can validate with the help of checkpoint. So checkpoint is nothing but like to check the behavior of the object at a specific point of time is nothing but checkpoint. To validate the behavior of the object, or in another words also you can consider like behavior of application also, not only object, this is also application, right? So that is nothing but like your checkpoint. Checkpoints also you can consider it as like validation points or verification points. So this is nothing but like your checkpoint. In your QTP you will come up with around 11 checkpoints. Those are nothing but like standard checkpoint, bitmap checkpoint, image checkpoint, text checkpoint, text area checkpoint, database checkpoint, XML checkpoint, then uh, accessibility checkpoint. So these are the different checkpoints you will come up with. Okay, so table checkpoint also another checkpoint, even database checkpoint. These are the different checkpoints you will come across in your QTP. We go one by one. That is nothing but like your standard checkpoint. Okay, during recording modes, how many recording modes you will come across? Three recording modes. Those are nothing but like normal recording, high level recording, and low level recording. So why you are calling it a standard recording or normal recording? If in case if you go for like recording, you will be using 100% standard recording only. That is the reason the name itself, they name it like normal recording or standard recording. Exactly. Here also the name is telling you like in case if you get a chance to go for like checkpoint, but this is the checkpoints mostly you will get. Okay, during your manual test case, you're converting it into automation means definitely you will get a chance to go for like checkpoints, but within that even again mostly you will be using like standard checkpoint. Okay, so you have to insert standard checkpoint means how you will insert in your real time. That is what if I go for means like Okay, so I'm trying to record. Click on record button, then new. I'm going for like new. Now by default flights button is in disabled mode or not. I have to validate. For that one I have to insert standard checkpoint. So you have to insert standard checkpoint means you have to go to insert checkpoint standard checkpoint. That is the one you have to go for. Insert checkpoint standard checkpoint. Okay. See here. Uh, Sometimes you may see like insert checkpoint. If I go, see all the checkpoints were disabled. Only database checkpoint and XML checkpoint from resource enabled. Okay. Why means you have to insert checkpoint means your QTP tool should be in recording mode. Then only you will be able to insert standard checkpoint. That is what you have to remember. So during recording directly you can insert, or once manual steps you perform everything, after that you have to insert standard checkpoint means you can go. Okay, so either of the way, whatever the way you feel comfortable. Now the flight button behavior I have to validate. I click that flight button. Which button behavior you have to validate? For that object, once you click, it's giving like object selection checkpoint properties. Okay, so web button flight. So you confirm by clicking OK. Here, as you say, like any of the object, if you go for, you will get different properties and methods. Each and every object should be having some properties, right? Like absolute x, absolute y, length, width, height, class name, inner text, outer text. Like that, each and every object should be having some properties. Okay. Yesterday I was talking about like property and method also. I'm sorry, actually this simple topic I forgot. Property is nothing but which describes about specific object is nothing but property. Color. If you take football, okay, color of that ball is nothing but property. Describes about that object. One table if you take, what is the color? What are the what are the legs it's having? What is the cost? Okay, like this if we take that, those are nothing but like properties. Human being, one student if we take student ID, student first name, student last name, age, date of birth, these all are nothing but like properties. Get height, get age, get date of birth means the operations you can perform in that object. Means what is the operation you can perform for football? Kick, right? K-I-C-K, kick. That is nothing but method. Exactly like that. In this object, what are the methods you can perform? Get color, get X coordinate, get Y coordinate, get label. Like this, which methods you can perform in that object, which operations you can perform in that object, that is nothing but like method. Here at this point of time, which property you have to validate? Here you are having so many properties. So see here, x, y, width, text, height, focused, enabled. These are the different properties. But which property you have to validate? It's disabled. So enabled false means, what does it mean? Enabled false means it's disabled, right? That is what you have to validate, right? So that is what by default it was selected. In addition to that, if you want to validate few more properties, very well, you can select. Okay, but as of now my requirement is I have to validate whether that object is enabled or not. So click on OK button. As soon as you insert checkpoint, it's giving you the statement like check checkpoint. That means in any of the line you're seeing like check checkpoint means that statement validating the behavior of the specific object. That is the way you can remember. Okay, then this is nothing but like inserting checkpoint one way. Then I'm going for like data flight. As usual, once I enter data flight, the behavior of the object I have to validate. So click flight, click confirm. Okay, enabled false means it's disabled. Exactly, I have to enter fly from. Even after entering fly from, the flights button should be in disable mode. So shortcut key is like F12 for standard checkpoint. Function key is F12 for standard checkpoint. Enabled false means it's disabled. Then fly to fly to. Okay. So again F12 for inserting standard checkpoint. See flight button is it is enabled. Click OK button. Then enable true means it's disabled. Enable true means it's enabled, right? So this is how you can insert your checkpoints. Okay. So then I'm trying to execute. Okay, it was executed fine. You have to launch results means results window, results icon you can click, or automation results. Either of the way you can launch your results from results window. It's loading actually. Okay, see here, expand all, right click, expand all. If you give, see here, flight checkpoint flight 2, checkpoint flight 3, checkpoint flight 4, everything got passed. Okay, see in results what we are seeing, 4 passed. 4, what does it mean? How many checkpoints you were inserted in your test script, those many checkpoints got passed. That is nothing but like your passed count. Okay, so this is the way you will insert your checkpoints. And while executing, what QTP does is like during record time and during runtime, whether the application is behaving exactly or not. That is what it will try to validate. Okay, so this is nothing but like your standard checkpoint. This is the way you will insert and you will validate for any of the object or any of the application in your real time, saying like a specific object property you have to validate. So here you are validating just whether any object, that specific object is enabled or not. Like that, any of the property you can validate, right? So this is nothing but like a checkpoint. And the checkpoints you can insert in multiple ways. The first way I have shown you is like through insert menu, wizard navigation. But another way is like either from keyword view or expert view. Right click, insert standard checkpoint. Okay, so this is another way of inserting your checkpoint, expert view, even from keyword. If you go, so one button, what is the button you have, what is the object you have to insert your checkpoint? So right click, insert standard checkpoint, which property enabled to, that is the object. What I am trying to put is like this is the object, new button I'm clicking, right? That is the object. Okay, that is the way also you can insert your checkpoint, means like through wizard navigation. Another way is from keyword view or expert view by right clicking. Another way of inserting your checkpoint. One more way is there, like even through your active screen you can insert your checkpoint. So go active screen. For which object you have to insert checkpoint, right click, insert standard checkpoint. Okay. Even from there also you can insert your standard checkpoint. Whatever the way you feel comfortable, you can insert. This is nothing but like your standard checkpoint. If you have any questions at the end of the session, I will explain. Just keep a note or remember. Okay, so this is nothing but like your standard checkpoint. Then our next checkpoint is like image checkpoint. Okay, so our next checkpoint is like image checkpoint. uh this window, if you go for this is what you're looking for. This one you can consider like an image, right? So what is the drawback of manual testing? Image properties you have to validate means you cannot validate with the help of human beings. That is a major drawback of your manual testing. To overcome that problem, you can go for like you can go for your image checkpoint, your automation tool. So you want to validate complete image properties or complete image, you have to validate means you can go for like image checkpoint. This is the image whether it's displaying properly or not. Another best example, if you take like company logo, every company should have like some logo, right? That is the logo you have to validate. So you can go for image checkpoint. Okay, so with the help of image checkpoint, what you do is like you'll be able to insert complete image properties, but you may get a chance to validate part of the image, part of the image. So part of the image means with the help of image checkpoint you cannot validate. Even this image checkpoint supports your standalone applications or web-based applications only. It doesn't support like advanced technologies like Java, .NET, SAP, Oracle apps. This is the limitation of your image checkpoint. Image checkpoint supports only standalone and web-based applications. And another thing is like you will be able to validate complete image properties. But part of the image are dynamic images. Even your QTP tool with that image checkpoint does not support. At that time, which one you go for is like you can go for bitmap checkpoint. So bitmap checkpoint helps you in validating complete image properties. Even part of the image also you want to validate means you can validate. And another thing is like not only standalone applications or web-based applications, any of the technology you can validate. Okay, so like image checkpoint is having subset features of your bitmap checkpoint. So why you want another checkpoint like image checkpoint? So with the help of bitmap checkpoint, you will be able to validate what are the features you have in your image checkpoint. So why you want another checkpoint like image checkpoint? That is the reason you don't see image checkpoint in your latest version of your QTP. Older versions of QTP like before 9.5, if you check both image checkpoint and bitmap checkpoint, you will be able to see. But in latest versions, image checkpoint they completely remove. This is the reason. Okay, so if you go for like image checkpoint, bitmap checkpoint, I have to validate means choose bitmap. Okay, now actually the thing is I have to insert checkpoint in flight reservation system, but it was not enabled. But uh, now I have to enable means how I will enable is like you have to keep control keep button, like keep press like control button. See, the mouse pointer got changed, right? As soon as I press control, the mouse pointer is changing, you see. So like this, you keep press your control button, then enable whatever the window you want, then release your control button. Okay, so again, okay, now you can click for that object. That is the way you can insert your bitmap checkpoint. So normally insert checkpoint, bitmap checkpoint. So which image you want to validate, click on OK button. Okay, so this is for validating like your complete image. Even part of the image also you have to validate, means insert checkpoint, bitmap checkpoint. The thing is like, as soon as you select checkpoint, whatever the window your cursor is focusing, that window gets enabled automatically. That is what here is happening. As soon as I choose checkpoint, immediately where your cursor is going, which window your cursor is focusing, that window getting enabled. So that is the reason while working with your application, you make sure only your QTP and the application open, remaining all windows closed. So click at that window at that image. If you want to validate a part of the image, okay, check only selected area. Check this radio button and select which portion of this object you have to validate. Select. Okay, then click on OK button. So this is another way of inserting your checkpoint. And the thing is like, this is part of the image, but while validating it will validate only part of the image, but it will get store your complete image. But another way is like, only you want to store part of the image with your checkpoint. Select which portion you want to validate and save only selected area. Third checkpoint I am inserting with the selected area. Okay. If I go for like a first checkpoint, right click, check. If you want to view checkpoint properties, means right click and checkpoint. See, complete image it was saved. You want to view properties, means make sure cursor should be at a checkpoint. Otherwise, cursor is here. If I right click, it's not giving you this, but cursor is getting here and giving. Okay, so or if I give right click here, you're not getting right checkpoint properties. So make sure you put cursor at checkpoint, then only you give right button. Okay, so checkpoint properties, here you see whatever the area you selected is graph kind of lines is displaying, right? Third one, if I go for third one, save only selected area. Whatever the area I have selected, that is the one it got saved. Okay, so it was executed fine. Okay, fine, right? It got passed. Okay, so another thing I will show you like Here this is the person always will get value, right? This count. So for that one I will try to insert image checkpoint. What will happen, you see. Hmm, bitmap checkpoint. So lots of space I'm inserting. It will take it as a like capture bitmap. Okay, it was captured as a image. If I execute now, it will get pass or it will get fail. It will get pass or it will get fail. Keep mind. It will get fail. The thing is like, hmm, let me insert once again. And remember, in your application, wherever it will, whatever the object could be identified as web element, it will create a problem like this. Oh, that is the one is recording. My requirement here is like I have to show you how it look like if a specific checkpoint fails. That is the reason I have to capture. It's taking it as web element. Hmm. Okay, let me check. Okay, what I'm inserting is for this image only. Okay, now what I do is like I will try to increase that image. Okay, that image I'm size I'm incrementing. I have to make that specific image page. That is the reason I'm increasing. Now if I execute, what will happen, we see. Hmm, same image, right? But it got failed. Why? Okay, view difference. That is the difference. Okay, so like that, in case if it fail, it will show you clearly what is expected, what is the actual. Expected is this one, actually is that one. Okay, like that it will show. Means it's capturing exact position also. This is nothing but like your bitmap checkpoint. Exactly like that. uh, you want to validate any of the object like flights button. If you take whether that object is having flight label or not, exactly like that. Insert order, if you take whether that object is having insert order label or not. That is what you have to validate. You go for what is the checkpoint you can go for is like text checkpoint. You can go for text checkpoint. Okay, but what I'm doing is like I'm trying to go for like standard checkpoint, and I'm trying to insert for insert order. My requirement is I have to validate label or name of specific object. Okay, so at that time not enabled. So text if I go for is helping me like verifying that object label, right? So why I want another checkpoint like text checkpoint? That is the reason in your latest versions of qtp text checkpoint and text area checkpoint both you see, but the purpose of text checkpoint is like text area checkpoint. Then what do you mean by text area checkpoint? Okay, so text area checkpoint is nothing but like this is the best example. Okay, that is the best example. So this is the scenario if you take within this sentence part of the text vary. Means most of the sentence will be common, but within that sentence part of the text is varying always. To validate this kind of situations you can go for like text area checkpoint. Within a sentence specific portion is varying. Let us suppose we are conducting uh, workshop next week in New Zealand or New Jersey. So many people will be coming up, right? From New Jersey, New Zealand, Australia, let us assume from different places. So from source to New Zealand, New Jersey, from Washington to New Jersey, from means here within this sentence, source place is very multiple people from multiple places. Let us suppose attending that workshop. At that time, source place will be varying, but destination will be they are reaching New Jersey. Within this sentence, source place is varying. This kind of situation that means within a sentence, part of the text is varying. You can go for like text area checkpoint. So in your latest versions of your QTP, text checkpoint means by default text area checkpoint. By default text area checkpoint. So what is text area checkpoint? Within a sentence part of the text is varying means you can go for text area checkpoint. Okay, so you have to configure means text checkpoint. Okay, now you configure. Whenever you configure, what is the text before? You select text before. So text after. This is the constant, but whatever you see here like in red, that is what it will be varying. Checked text. This portion will be varying. See, check that is displayed in between those two texts. So now if I execute, this checkpoint will get pass or fail. Will get fail. Why means the text is varying, right? The data is getting varying in those both the places. That is the reason this checkpoint will get fail. Okay, so this is the purpose of like a text checkpoint. Even the text area checkpoint purpose also, whatever you are having in your QTP is same, but only the thing is text checkpoint limitation is it will support only web-based applications, but this area checkpoint support all of the technologies like even Java, .NET, SAP, Oracle apps. That's only the difference between like text checkpoint and text area checkpoint. Both the purpose is same, but text checkpoint supports only standalone applications and web-based applications, but text area checkpoint supports all of the technologies. That is text checkpoint and text area checkpoint. Okay, then you go for like database checkpoint. In your QTP, whichever features you come up with, each and every feature you will be able to perform in so many ways. Like one is QTP built-in feature, another way is like you can come up with your VB scripting. In either of the way you can go for. Even you are inserting your checkpoint, right? Standard checkpoint, verifying whether a specific object is enabled or not. Okay, even that one you can go for like inserting or using VB scripting. My point here is like every feature, whatever you have, whatever the requirement you have, each and everything you can go for like using QTP built-in feature and VB scripting. But database checkpoint also you can use QTP built-in feature like wizard by wizard or VB scripting. In real time, you're inserting for database checkpoint means you never go for like wizard way, but you will be going for VB scripting approach. So that is what you have to understand, means you should be aware of what is VB script and how it will be helpful for you. So database checkpoint I will explain you during VB scripting. Yeah, as of now you just ignore that XML checkpoint. Sorry, database checkpoint. Then I will go for like XML checkpoint. XML. So if you want to validate XML checkpoint means you can go for in a application. Sometimes developer what he do is like he will be using XML pages. So those kind of pages you have to validate means you can go for XML checkpoint. Okay, so you have to insert XML. See, nothing much to explain really. You want to validate XML checkpoint means XML pages means you can go for XML checkpoint. Again, XML checkpoint you are seeing like two options from application and from resource. From application is nothing but like in your application. From application is nothing but in your application. If you go for expand, see variable, two variables, name and value. Okay, name and value. So that is what it will need to validate. But what do you mean by resource? Checkpoint, XML checkpoint from resource. From resource is nothing but like where you have that file in your computer. This is what, right? Okay, so that file directly you can give to your XML checkpoint to validate. Either of the way, here also you are getting same. Here also you are getting same. Okay, so from application is nothing but like from your real application, from resource is nothing but like in your computer, in your directory where it was saved, that path you can give directly. Either of the way you can validate your XML checkpoints. Both the checkpoints got passed, right? So this is nothing but like your XML checkpoint. And another thing you will come up with like accessibility checkpoint. Okay, so accessibility checkpoint is nothing but like before that developers have to come up with like a web application. They should follow some standards, right? They should follow some standards like WCC standards. What are those WCC standards? WCC World Wide Web Consortium standards are nothing but like okay, whether each and every object they are putting they will follow some standards or not. Another thing is like once you click on link is navigating to specific page, specific or not. So all these kind of stuff you'll be validating, right? So that is what you have to validate means in your QTP you'll go for like the accessibility checkpoint. To validate standards of any of the web page, you can go for like accessibility checkpoint. Click somewhere in that page, click OK button. See, all these are the different properties your QTP tool validate during the accessibility checkpoint. In all these checkpoints in real time, which one you will get a chance to use is really you'll go for like standard checkpoint, sometimes database checkpoint and table checkpoint also you'll compare them. 80% of the cases, 80% you go for like standard checkpoint, 10% you go for database checkpoint, less than 5% you go for table checkpoint. Remaining checkpoint, it doesn't mean you have to ignore. Even those one also some point of time you may get a chance, but into perspective very important. So this is nothing but like your but while inserting your accessibility checkpoint, you cannot modify. See, rightly checkpoint properties, if I go, I'm trying to modify, I'm trying to click, it's not allowing me to modify. Even the same situation while creating also, while creating this checkpoint also, but you want to modify. How you will modify is like tools, options, web, advanced. If I go here, you are seeing accessibility checkpoint, so here it will allow you to modify. So which properties you have to change. Okay, select, apply, okay, then right click. If we give here, if you see it got applied. This is how you can insert your accessibility checkpoint. So for a specific page, whether they were followed the standards for developing any of the page or not, that is what you have to validate means. You can go for accessibility checkpoint. Okay, see, some properties it was not matched, some properties it was not matched. Okay, that's why it's getting failed. So this is nothing but like your accessibility checkpoint. Another checkpoint is like your table checkpoint. In your application, some point of time you may get a chance to go tables, right? Some tables, those tables you have to validate means you can go for table checkpoint. The idea is very simple. But if I go for like insert checkpoint, you don't see table checkpoint, right? You are not seeing here table checkpoint. So how you will insert table checkpoint? There is a way. So you go for like standard checkpoint. Somewhere in your table you click it up. One level upper, you're seeing like you're getting web table. You have to insert table checkpoint means you go, you select that table and click on OK button. That is how you can insert your table checkpoint. See here how many rows are there, all those rows it was selected. In your inbox, which are the mails you have, everything it was selected, all those one. If you want to but your requirement is like if you want to validate all those rows, that is fine, but you may get a chance to vary, right? Your requirement may get vary, like only first 3 rows or 10 rows you have to validate. At that time you select and you can modify properties like this, check or uncheck. Okay, so my requirement is like I'm selecting only first 3 rows, select. Okay, so OK button. That is how you can insert your table checkpoint. That is how you can insert your table checkpoint. So I'm trying to execute, it will get pass or fail. It will pass. Why? You're recording same thing and you're executing. And another thing you will get, you're recording and you're executing. It will get pass always, right? So why you want to go for checkpoint? Why you want to go for automation? You may get this kind of questions. But the thing here is like you are going to automate in release 100 and release 200, 300, 400, 500 in another releases. you are going to execute those test scripts. That is what your automation requirement. So in those releases, in case if it gets fail means it will catch it up, right? So that is the purpose of like your automation. Okay, now it got passed. Everything got passed. That is fine. But my question here is like, is this inbox stable? It may get vary, right? Let us suppose I may delete some email, or I may receive few mails. At that time, the row and column of each and every email will get changed, right? So if I execute now, it will get pass or fail. It will pass or fail. It will fail completely. Okay, it will fail completely. But that means like static tables means directly you can go for inserting your checkpoint like this. But dynamic tables you have to validate means how you will validate. See, completely it got failed. Nothing got pass. Okay, nothing got pass. Completely it got failed. Why? Row and column both is trying to validate. See here, checked cells 24, cells succeeded 15 means a blank rows, right? First blank rows 1 2 3 4, 4 into 3 12, 13 14 15. These are blank rows. That is what got passed. Remaining are failed. But your requirement is like you may get a chance to go for validating dynamic tables means whether specific email or not, that is what you have to validate. But you don't want to validate which row it is, whether the specific email available or not you have to validate, but you don't want to check which row. At that point of time you go for like cell identification by selected columns. You try selecting. Yeah, as soon as I select specific column, here you are getting columns lock symbol using. That means it will try to validate only columns. It doesn't validate row. Okay. So dynamic rows you have to validate means this is the way you go cell identification by selected key column. Even this is very important. In your real time, really you will get a chance. But you never get a chance to go for like static, but dynamic tables you may get a chance. So at that time, this is one way of validating. Another way is like through VB scripting. You can come up with complete scripting. That is what you have to understand means you have to wait till your VB scripting. Okay. So now if I go for what will happen? See what happened. Everything is available. Only the thing is first row got failed. Right? That is the row we got deleted, right? So that is what it got failed. Remaining all pass. That means what is validating? Only is validating specific email available or not. This is what your requirement means. You can go for this. Like that depends on your requirement. However you feel comfortable, you can. This is nothing but like your checkpoints. As I told, in your real time, you will go for like mostly standard checkpoint. Even database checkpoint also you will get requirement. But that is what I will be explaining you during VB scripting. Even table checkpoint also. Okay. So output checkpoints we will discuss tomorrow. So this is nothing but like your checkpoints. Any questions, anybody? Sorry, no questions. uh, I didn't share, right, QTP. I will share you immediately. What are your email IDs? Could you please give me everyone's email IDs? I will share you immediately. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, everything you have to practice. Yeah, exactly, everything you have to practice. Okay. So what I do is like in Google Drive, I have downloaded that one. So as soon as I share, you'll get an email. From there you can download. Okay, if you get any issues for downloading, just let me know. I will try to help you in resolve. Okay, any more questions? Yeah. 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 Yeah, right. Start recording, insert checkpoint. Yeah, insert checkpoint. Then on that which image you have to validate. Specific image, you can go ahead and click part of the image. Okay, specific portion also you can validate. Yeah. No, no, standard checkpoint is for validating any property of the object, but text checkpoint will help you in validating only text portion. It doesn't help you in validating like x coordinate, y coordinate, or something like that. Only name or label it will help you in validating text checkpoint. But standard checkpoint property means any of the property. Right, right. Yeah, right. But text checkpoint you cannot insert for a standard checkpoint, not opposite. Okay, okay. Yeah. Any more questions? No questions means we'll end up our session. Thank you so much for your time. Okay, tomorrow same time we'll meet. Okay, fine. Bye. Have a good night.